History is not merely a record of events. It is a river that carries the stories of those who shaped its course. Among them are warriors who fought for glory, rulers who clung to power, and hearts transformed by something greater. Abu Sufyan ibn Harb was a man of power and ambition, a leader, fierce, relentless, and deeply personal.
Thought that Hamza above all, with his wine drinking, lion hunting, will come to join Muhammad.
Or we attack him, or they seem to join him.
Where does he find his words?
I don't know.
How can an illiterate man go up on a mountain and come down 3 days later blazing with poetry?
It were just poetry. He says it's God.
How do we fight someone whose strength we do not understand?
His heart would change, his pride would bow, and his legacy would become intertwined with faith that united the Arabian Peninsula and stretched across the world. His story, though deeply rooted in conflict, reminds us of the immense power of mercy, forgiveness, and transformation. Forces stronger than words or armies. Abu Sufyan's life would mirror the struggles of an emerging faith and the humility of an ultimate surrender. Mecca was no ordinary city. As the heart of Arabia, of trade, idols, tribal alliance that defined wealth and power. Among its leaders, Abu Sufyan emerged as a formidable figure, pragmatic, shrewd, and deeply committed to the preservation of the Quraysh dominance. He knew every caravan route, controlled every deal, and held the trust of his people. But it was this very power that would be tested. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, call to monotheism was more than a spiritual awakening. It was a direct challenge to Quraysh's traditions and economic lifeline. To Abu Sufyan, Islam threatened the stability of Mecca's trade, the unity of its tribes, and the idols that brought pilgrims from every corner of Arabia. Beside him stood Hind bint Utbah, a woman whose pride matched her husband's resolve, fierce and uncompromising. Hind saw the Prophet's message as a tide that could drown the very foundation of her world. Together, they would resist. But resistance was not enough. The Quraysh convened councils, plotted boycotts, and unleashed persecution against those who believed. Abu Sufyan's name became synonymous with opposition, each decision crafted to silence the call to Islam. Yet, as the Prophet's followers endured hardship, a shadow of doubt crept over Mecca's leaders. What force could sustain such unbreakable faith? The battlefield would become Abu Sufyan's resolve. Though absent at Badr, it was his caravan that sparked the confrontation.
So the Ghazwat al-Ushayra set up Ghazwat al-Badr. Ghazwat al-Ushayra is phase 1, but it didn't happen because by the time the Prophet got there, Abu Sufyan had heard the news and he fled quickly, took another route. And so Ghazwat al-Ushayra, the Prophet never actually met the caravan.
His wealth carried through the desert, a lifeline of Quraysh's power. But Badr was a loss no one had foreseen. Quraysh pride was shattered, and Abu Sufyan emerged as the man who would carry the weight of revenge. At Uhud, Abu Sufyan rallied the Quraysh once more. Quraysh leadership, led by Abu Sufyan, was humiliated and sought retribution. The reason for their mobilization toward the Battle of Uhud were not merely military, but deeply personal and strategic.
Abu Sufyan was on high alert. These days we can say code red now, right? High alert. Why is he on high alert? Because he already knows that the Prophet is interested in his caravan.
Revenge for Badr weighed heavily on the Quraysh. Yasir Qadi explains that the Quraysh humiliation, losing their fathers, brothers, and leaders, stirred a deep emotional call for retribution. sands trembled under the march of his force, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, followers met the fury of a Meccan steel. Revenge burned in the hearts of his warriors, and victory seemed to restore the Quraysh's pride. But even in triumph, there were signs. The Prophet and his followers did not break their unity, their faith. It endured unshaken. The conflict reached its peak at Medina during the Battle of the Trench, Ahzab. It was Abu Sufyan who led a coalition of tribes to crush the Prophet once and for all. Yet, what he faced was not an army, but a strategy that defied his expectations. Trenches dug into the earth became walls no force could breach. The wind howled through the desert. The Quraysh's will faltered, and Abu Sufyan stood at the edge of defeat, not by swords, but by the resilience of an idea. He had thrown everything into the battle, yet he left Medina with nothing. For the very first time, doubt flickered in the heart of Mecca's most powerful man. How could this faith continue to rise, undeterred, undefeated, while Quraysh's power began to fracture? As his coalition splintered and the wind of history began to shift, years of conflict weighed on Abu Sufyan. Mecca, once untouchable, now trembled under the Prophet's growing strength. When the Prophet, peace be upon him, marched upon Mecca with 10,000 followers, Abu Sufyan faced a choice, not of pride, but of survival. Humbled and wary, he sought peace. But it was not surrender that met him. It was mercy. من دخل بيت أبو سفيان فهو آمن. Whoever enters Abu Sufyan's house will be safe. The words struck like thunder, not with violence, but with forgiveness. The man who had stood against the Prophet was now a man humbled before him. The idols fell, the Kaaba was purified, and Abu Sufyan bore witness to a moment of unity that history would forever remember.
The gods that I've worshipped been of any use, it would have helped me. I declare, under no compulsion,
that there is only one God,
there is one God,
and that Muhammad is his messenger.
and you are the messenger of God.
His acceptance of Islam marked not an end, but a beginning. His son, Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan, emerged as a trusted scribe to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and later a leader would shape history. From Damascus, Muawiyah established the Umayyad Caliphate, a dynasty that would stretch from the desert of Arabia to the cities of Spain and the mountains of Central Asia. The Umayyad built roads, governed vast lands, and raised architectural marvels that stand till this day. What began with Abu Sufyan's resistance became a legacy of leadership that guided the Muslim world for generations. From adversary to a believer, from doubt to faith, Abu Sufyan's journey was one of redemption that echoes across time. This story is a testament to the power of change. It is a reminder that even hearts forged in defiance can find peace in truth. Through mercy, forgiveness, and faith, Abu Sufyan's journey became a bridge from darkness of conflict to the light of unity. His legacy lives not only in the pages of history, but in the hearts of those who walked the path he once resisted. In the sands of Mecca, under the glow of the Kaaba, his transformation remains a symbol of all who seek redemption, a story of struggle, of mercy, and of faith and triumph.